Um, Hello everyone. Today we are here for Jimish Kaparia's session. Jimish Kaparia, who has done his MBA and then he was a president in the Yes Bank, and now he's also an angel investor and the co-founder of Growth 91 and Growth Sense and many other startups he has invested in. So before Jimish sir's session, let's have a brief introduction about Growth 91. Growth 91 is a pioneering platform that connects investors with the promising startup ventures in the dynamic entrepreneur landscape. With a strong focus on quality, the platform offers a curated selection of high potential opportunities, enabling investors to participate in the thriving startup ecosystem. Leveraging a full digital and seamless investment process, Growth 91 ensures that the investing is hassle-free and efficient. Thorough due diligence for each opportunity performed by our experienced teams provide investors with reliable information from making informed decisions. By making a certified part owner of the startups they invest in, individuals can actively contribute to and benefit from the growth and success of next generation of innovative companies. Like Sanjay Sarda is also on the line. He's also the co-founder of Growth 91 and Jimish, and I'll hand over the now to Jimish sir. So to Jimish, and he will tell about his journey and about himself. You can continue, sir.
Thank you so much, Neha. Finally, at least I could able to hear Jimish. Otherwise, sir is the by default which comes along with your statement. So thanks, you progressed on that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And I am really happy, since Sushant, Asit, everyone has joined. Shivam, these are the gentlemen to whom, I've worked for a number of years in my life. And I'm sure everyone knows I don't need to mention anything about Asit. He is the instrumental in my career development till date, whatever I have achieved. I'm getting a lot of messages from the people they are joining in 5-10 minutes. They have worked with me and all. But let me kickstart, maybe about myself, so I think, by the time people will also join. As Neha said, so I'm a commerce graduate and then I have done my business administration. Uh, but since 10th standard I was very active in understanding the equity, right? So I remember in my 10th vacation, I used to sit on the terminal and I used to do the stock trading for the people, right? I was not having money, but I used to do a trading. So today whatever we do on Zerodha and Motilal and multiple other things, it was all offline, in that time. And I'm talking about this 1996, right? So where I used to do the trading, I understood a lot of stuff. After my graduation, I also joined the India's largest mutual fund advisory firm, right? Which is having a AUM of 1,50,000 crores now. I worked there for a year, understood the business development sales, at that time. And trust me, I'm talking about 2001 to when I need to explain people what is MUTUAL and FUND, right? Mutual fund. Today, everything is being done by Dhoni, Kohli, and Sebi, right? And Sachin Tendulkar, right? What is mutual fund all about? So that's the situation we are in for the startup right now, right? We are making people aware about the startup. Uh, so worked for a year, 1.5 year there, in mutual fund industries, and I got a break, at ICICI Bank. Now you are a young blood, you are about to get married, and you are getting a brand like ICICI. So left that industry and joined ICICI, which I consider to be the biggest blunder of my life now, because I met one of my first two sub brokers, who I appointed at that mutual fund advisor, and surprising they are at 800 crores and 600 crores mutual fund AUM, right? So at least I was like them, I would have also created that base. But anyways, whatever happens, it happens for the best. So ICICI, the fortunate part was, I got my wife at ICICI Bank, right? So I worked for 4 years there, and when we got married, either of us had to leave, right? So I was the one who took the initiative, and anyways, everyone knows husband only needs to take the initiative. So I left ICICI Bank and joined Yes Bank. Uh, Predominantly a Guju, worked always in Guju, and I'm sure Asit will laugh. He only is the one who made me, realize that there is a world outside, Ahmedabad and Gujarat, right? But I joined Yes Bank. So predominantly worked in Gujarat. So people don't pronounce yes, people pronounce Yash, right? And that time people, there was a large company, mineral water company called Yash, right? So wherever I used to go and meet, people say that Yash mineral water wale ne bank bana liya. So started with those days in Yes Bank, started doing the operation. And Sushant was the one. Sushant is there on the call. Thanks, Sushant, for joining. So Sushant was the one with whom I worked, for the first time in my, banking tenure at Yes Bank. uh, Started doing operation work, and it was just a 1 year of inception of the bank. So the person who used to do operation, he used to do sales, he used to do follow up, he used to do swift transfer as well. So I'm predominantly a forex guy, trade and finance guy, largely born and brought up in trade finance, but Mr. Suresh Shetty was the one who inspired me to move and different this trade finance domain along with Sushant. And that's how I took a challenge of being a part of the CMS. Most of the people would not be aware about the CMS, but that's the cash management service, which is a liquidity management of any corporate, right? Which is main bread and butter for the bank, because that's the non-interest, bearing fund which bank get, right? So started from those days, done everything, in terms of banking segment, and fortunate enough to meet, Asit. If time permits, I will also, share an incident of how I met Asit, and, what was his first reaction on me. So met Asit, and, I think, a lot of things, have learned from Asit, and, reach at this stage, from individual performer to become a team leader, to become a regional head, to become a zonal head. I shouldn't say, but almost in my 15 years, a career with, Yes Bank, I got a 11 promotion, and reached from assistant manager to president at Yes Bank, right? But honestly, whatever I am today, that's all because of Yes Bank, because Yes Bank and the people behind Yes Bank has, taught me to teach, that's what is sales all about, what is banking all about. uh, Maybe a lot of people will be able to correlate, but I was not a sales guy during my ICICI Bank days. It just Yes Bank made me realize what is sales all about, and sales, how it's important in everyone's career, right? So I've started doing, sales, become a hardcore sales development, business development guy in last 15 years at Yes Bank, done a lot of, corporate sales and all, and reach at a stage, where fortunate to, I met Sanjay, at one of the angel investment platform, and started our venture. uh, it's been almost now, we'll be completing 3 years together, in next 2 months. Exciting, challenging journey. Everyone can see that, from on 30th day getting the salary to getting EMI debited in your account to no salary for next, 1 year of starting, right? So that's the exciting roller coaster ride, in my career. But I think that that's about my, journey, Neha. And I'm sure a lot of things, you'll also be able to realize, the life is not comfortable it was, earlier. So
So when did you decide that you want to do something of your own? You were president. You were offered one more promotion at that point. Correct me if I'm wrong.
not really, but I was not a president of India, right? It's a president of Yes Bank, so it's one of the designation. Although you are a part of senior management, handling a team of 30, 40 folks, doing wonderfully well in the Silicon Valley of India, which is Bangalore. You are managing a 60% of startup ecosystem, likes of PhonePe, Razorpay, Cash Free, you name it, unicorn. Everyone, where you have a some or other way access. So yes, it was a comfortable zone, but at the end of the day, yeah, I'm a Guju, right? So somewhere business, nature is always there, want to do something at our own. But honestly, in 2019-20, when, Yes Bank, things happened, so that was one of the kick which, I thought now I should start, doing something else, right? You should have to have a second line of revenue, and you should start doing something. I started my own investment in the startups, and that's how, I realized the pain of investing in the startup. And as I said, fortunate met Sanjay at the same right time, and we started Growth Sense as a first venture. And then, I mean, a lot of things, we did together. But yes, that was the kick, which you say that, someone needs the, kick because, you have worked for 20 years in your corporate domain, you are getting your salary, everything is going as planned, but, you are entering in the world where you don't know when will you start getting your own income, right? So yeah, it's a roller coaster ride, but it's always good to, overcome the challenge your own and start doing, something else. And just for the sake of explaining, if you have worked in Yes Bank, I can tell you have worked anywhere because the kind of, pressure and the things which you have handled at Yes Bank, everything, comes free of cost then, you can survive in any situation.
Okay, so as you mentioned, you have met Sanjay Sarda. We have one more co-founder in Growth 91, Pratik. He's not here. So how you met him?
So yeah, so Pratik is unwell, so he's not able to join. Pratik was one of our investor in Growth Sense, right? That's how I got in touch. So I got in touch with Pratik through one other platform where he was active, member. And that's how, we discussed, obviously when he is invested, he's talking to us for the business updates and blah, blah, blah things. And he also wanted to start something, in the entrepreneur journey because he had worked for two startups in his, 10 years of career, where last one he was part of the founding team and they sold it to Walmart, right? And he's a great techie. So he wanted to start something, and, we were doing the Growth 91, where I am completely, finance guy, not techie, and I'm sure everyone I would have realized, the kind of silly question I'm asking in the tech. So, and Sanjay is, again IITian, so he's, techie, but we wanted a one full-time, tech entrepreneur, founder in our, venture who understand the tech and help us building it. And that's how, conversation happened. Pratik traveled to Ahmedabad, I traveled to Bangalore, we met, Sanjay traveled to Ahmedabad to meet. And so, we onboarded, Pratik as one of the, co-founder. And, then after, I mean, what's, we have done together.
Okay. So does anybody have any questions they can ask? Then I can continue with my questions. You can unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat box. Sushant asked it any questions, Shivam?
Maybe I'll just take a minute to just give a little bit of background because I've worked closely with Jimish, so I thought I'll share a few things about
Sure.
my experience of working with him over many years. So I think I remember still. I think the first time I really met him was at a cash management offsite in Goa. He strikes me as someone when he was a sole contributor, I think, in those days. So from there, he evolved from sole contributor to a regional head to, so almost, becoming a team leader, so to speak. So leadership role, he's evolved. I've seen him evolve. But the first thing that struck me when I met him in Goa was that he's very, very passionate, and he doesn't give up, so he's very persistent. And some of those attributes are absolutely important in sales, right? What is sales? Sales is all about persistence. Sales is all about project management. Sales is all about pushing. So he and some leaders, when they evolve from an individual performer to a team leader to a regional head, so there's basically different levels of leadership. They don't really change, they behave the same. So because nobody is teaching you, what is it to be a regional leader, what is it to be a leader. People think you can do the same thing, you're just getting more money. But Jimish, the good bit is that he I saw his evolution from from a core contributor through to a president or stroke, a strong leader. And he was very good with people. He coached people. He mentored people. He had a strategic view to things. He did not only have a transactional view. He had a strategic view, and he was very good at pushing other people in the organization to deliver for him. So I've seen that evolution, and I think he's done really well. And I'm also seeing his evolution. And I was very surprised that Growth 91 has done 3 years. Where 3 years has really flown. I didn't know 3 years had gone by. But I've seen his evolution now to be an entrepreneur. And that means, slightly different skill set because you're kind of working for yourself there. And I'm very happy to see that he's been a very strong entrepreneur. Many of my friends who have introduced to Jimish really think that he and Sanjay have achieved a lot in this short 3-year period. So very successful entrepreneur. I also think his best in life, Jimish's best in life, is yet to come. So it's very early stages. There's a lot more he can do and really take Growth 91 to 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 many to the next level, to many levels above, not even next level, to many. And I wish him and the team really well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Asit, for your words. And I mean, you were the first one who, offered not only support, but you said this is a check, you take it and, start the business. So really happy, the way you have supported us throughout our, venture, starting from Growth Science to Growth 91 or any other venture, right? So really appreciate, and it still continues. I'm sure, a lot of things, will be coming again, from you as well.
So I'd like to add a few words as well, if I may. So as Fish rightly said, so we were a part of that new bank, coming in. Being, this was in 2004, where literally, we had to, when we used to call clients or prospect clients, and when we tell them we are calling from Yes Bank, they spell out that, is it a foreign bank? Is it an central bank? And some time, kind of, am I audible? Sorry.
So I think Agam, if you can just go on mute if possible. Huh? Agam, if you can, yeah, please. Sushant, sorry.
So those were the initial days, in terms of setting up or joining a new bank, and that's when when I got to know Jimish. He was working in the branch, as he rightly said. He was part of operations, customer service, but yeah, we were expanding at that point in time. We wanted to have more team members in the transaction banking sales group, and that's when I met Jimish in the branch at Ahmedabad, and found that spark and passion in a young boy, and I was very confident that yes, he's going to do well in his career within the bank and otherwise. And thankfully, so over the last 1.5 2 years, we kind of met again after a gap. And I started investing in a few startups through Jimish, the references that he gave. And I'm glad that we connected again and we joined hands a few months back. And then that's when I got on board with Growth 91 and Growth Sense. So very happy to be working with him again. And as Asit also spelled out very clearly, he's very passionate about what he wants to do. And as Jimmy said, he's a pure guju at heart, so he knows how to do business. So I'm glad to be partnering with him, and I wish him all the luck.
Oh, thanks, Sushant, for your kind words as well. Uh, having worked with you earlier and then reconnected after 15 years and started together, you are a co-founder at Growth Science, integral part of our team. So honestly, when Sanjay and I started, Sanjay is handling the Bombay and Pune, and I was handling Bangalore. Since I've worked in Bangalore and Gujarat, I've spent my entire life. So we're always thinking that Delhi is the one where we don't have any sense, right? And somewhere that is right time, so it says right, right thing happens at the right time, and we got in touch, and then you started, and a lot of things are now anyways happening in Growth Sense as a whole. So thank you so much for all your support as well.
So,
Hi everyone, Shivam here. So, if I may, speak about Jimish, we have a decade-long, work ex with, we have worked together for more than 10 years. So, we have seen, lots of ups and downs, maybe ups only in the career. And few qualities which I have learned from Jimmy is best of the negotiation skills. How to as a salesperson you have to be street smart. I mean you have to keep your ears and eyes open. So number one on negotiation skills, follow-ups. I mean he can go to last mile to do follow-ups. He can uh, call clients early in the morning as well, or even after 9:30 as well. So that's what we have learned from Jimmy, that keep chasing the business. uh, how to drag things to the finish line. That's what the quality he has. And I mean, he has also I mean, taught us how to grow personally and professionally. And so I mean, we have done good in our career. So I mean, we have a very good time working together in our days. And I wish Growth 91 and Growth Sense entire team a very successful path ahead.
Thank you so much, Shivam. मेरा पूरा team है. You are making them scared. I don't follow up in the early morning. I don't follow up, in the late night nowadays. Right.
But yeah, you have changed a lot. You
No, no,
have
we
changed a
can.
lot.
No, we can. But Jimish is also available at 9:30 and 10 o'clock if you want to like talk. So that's like amazing. And yeah, no one
Yeah, yeah.
follow up like
So
Jimish. So that's correct.
yeah.
Yeah, as Pratik is also there. Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah. So coming back to the Shivam sir, Shivam's like that. What keeps you motivated? Like, why are you enthusiastic and follow up? Like, how are you so keen to a business?
Yeah, so I mean, see, nothing specific, but as I said, I'm a firm believer that, whatever work I take, I mean, I become a owner of end-to-end process, right? So many time, you would have also seen that some work, I would have given it to you, but then maybe next day, I don't hear back, I'll come back to you, and then, without telling you also, I'll clear, that stuff. So I am a firm believer, and which again, I have learned it from Asit, be a people's man. So if someone is working with you, if you are, helping them, in their initial days, and you are, working with them, they'll become a, a long timer, working with you. And, ultimately, see, it's a team matters, right? No individual, works, right? So whatever I am doing or I've done in, my past, it's all because of the team, which I've got. And I can tell you, my almost all the team members too with whom I have worked in Gujarat or in Bangalore or in South, everyone I have a connect, and wherever I go to Bangalore, anywhere, I meet everyone. Today also I remember, and Shivam can vouch for it. We still meet once in a fortnight for over tea, right? So that's the bonding, which, and when you have a
And
people like this,
agree.
around you, everything will fall in place.
Okay. So, what are the principles you follow while taking the business decisions?
Sorry, Neha, I lost you. Sorry.
Yeah. What are the principles you follow while taking the business decisions?
So, Neha, so we are into the business where we are managing the investors' funds, right? So when the moment the money or the finance comes in the picture, it becomes a more like a trust, right? Someone is trusting on us and giving the money to us, where we are taking the sole responsibility of investing and managing, right? So transparency and ethic becomes the most important for us, right? Uh, maybe I'll tell you. So if you are investing your own money, or if you are investing your investors money, right, so that investors money decision becomes a more critical for you, right? When you have taken decision for your own money and you lost it, you know that you have taken the decision and you have lost it. That's a learning. But at the same time, investors money, you are investing and you are taking the decision of investing and managing the fund. It becomes a more, challenging, come, a more responsible responsibility, right? So I would say, you know so when Sanjay and I started, we were very clear that, we'll be doing this, we'll be doing this, and, we have followed everything. So today, whatever, fund we manage, on April 1st by 12 p.m., unaudited numbers are already available with everyone who's part of the fund, right? So although Sanjay and I are managing everything, but that is available with, everyone, that what's happening in the, a company, right? At the same time, investing, so take an example of startup investment, mutual fund investment, it's everything is online, you have everything. But in startup investment, a lot of things you need to provide, which because investors are not investing. And take my words, in my second one, when, Sanjay and I joined the hand and we started, everyone has invested. They've just invested because just Jimish is part of it. I can tell name wise, they have just
Yeah.
invested. They were not seen even the dashboard yet, right? So,
Yeah.
so if you have a such kind of people who are blindly trusting you, and also ethics and transparency in things becomes most important for, us as a so-called, fund manager, who we are managing the fund, right, of the people.
So, do you believe in manifestation or energy of thoughts?
Yeah, honestly not, and I'm sure Sanjay will laugh. Sanjay is after me to watch one movie since last, almost 1.5 year. I haven't seen, I've downloaded it, in flight I start and then I move to the, Kapil Sharma show or, some other things. But Sanjay and again my wife, I mean, so honestly, I am a bit negative person, right? So somewhere I think what is the worst, when I start something, right? That's the first thing which I, think through. But my wife, Kinjal, she made me realize also. So today morning also when we were chatting over a breakfast, she was saying, just be positive and all. So I was not, but I've started believing, but honestly, I'm yet to see the result on that. So I can't comment on it right now.
So yeah, coming back to positive, any wow moments you would like to share?
So wow moment, I mean, I would say in the current environment, moving from the corporate job or maybe a comfortable zone to, challenging zone, that's the wow moment, which, when you start, that. So when I started, I was clear that next 12 months I will not have any, salary in hand, right? Uh, and let me tell you, I am wrong in that. It's 18 months. We were not having any salary, right? Uh, so we were very, clear that what we are starting, and this would be the thing. But I think this is what I feel that when you start something and when you know that something is going to follow when you are putting your 100%. So in let's say my last job at Yes Bank, we know the kind of efforts we were putting it, and we were very sure even if I put a 50% of that in my own business, at least it will fly. And this I was telling to a lot of my teammates as well, right? So I think wow moment is taking a step towards the entrepreneurship and then reach at this stage. That's the most wow moment in my life or career, I would say.
Yeah. So anyone else want to speak something or want to like ask any question, like
Yeah, I
Sanjay.
Yeah,
Himanshu here.
but
Yeah.
don't make it mandatory for anyone to ask, right? So I mean
Mm,
that's
No,
fine.
no, no, no. It's not mandatory. It's not mandatory. Please.
Yeah.
Anyone was saying something,
Yeah,
please
yeah,
say.
Himanshu here. So
Hi,
you have
Manju.
asked one question, right? Why wow moment? So I don't know about Jimish, but he has given wow moment to a lot of his, teammates in his entire life.
Correct.
And definitely, almost, more than 90% teammates of Jimish can vouch for it. Uh, while I start, he has started. He has given the shape of to my career when I was working in Indore, and he has betted on me to call to Bangalore. So basically, I have given almost 10 to 15 interviews for Bangalore, but nobody was betting on it. I had to city guy, but he was someone who said, "Okay, let's take a bet." After taking a lot of approvals, I think a lot of internal fight with the HR, he hired me in Bangalore. And then in a short span working with him, and that was the most impactful, impactful working days in my entire career. And whatever I have learned from Jimish in those, 9 to 10 months, from a leader or from a manager, that I have not learned from any of them till now. So that was, that have shaped my entire career. Not only me, I can, tell you on behalf of all my colleagues who has worked under Jimmy right now. And the same way, not only, he's a good leader or entrepreneur, but at the end of the day, he's a very good human being. So that matters a lot in any business. And he has a very good heart, and he's very always transparent enough, not only with the internal colleagues but with the external clients as well. And that is one of the quality which everyone likes. And as we see, a lot of people are betting on or investing on the growth 91 because of his honesty and transparency. And I think this will take the growth 91 to the 91x where they are planning to go. So all the best, and thank you for shaping many of the people's career, Jimish.
Thanks, yeah, but I think it's becoming more like my Yes Bank farewell again. But anyways, thank you so much, Himanshu.
Yeah, Jimish.
so I have a question.
Anyone? Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. So, sir, ever have you thought of going back to corporate job, like in your journey?
Yeah, so Nidhi, I mean, thanks you asked this question. See, so obviously when you start something your own, and although I was ready that 12 months I'll not have a salary, and in first, initial month only, when see, it happens, in the finance, thing, when you know that, Nidhi knows me, Neha knows me, Himanshu knows me. And when you leave the job, leaving your brand where, you met all these folks and starting your own stuff. And then, going back to them saying, hey, start investing in all this. Ultimately, it's a finance matter, right? No one, most of the people don't, directly, does that, right? So the pain was, yes, we started, and when at least I know that, a kind of experience, me, Sanjay, Pratik, all are, carrying, over 50 years of, a combined experience, and then we are going to, market, at least people, will come. But yes, initially it was a tough time. Yes, again, a lot of things post COVID, lot of problems were there in the market. People were not trusting the, new investments, asset class and all. So I would say softly, yes, once it was there. But I can tell you, I'm not sure why Sanjay is silent and he's not talking. He's there, right? But he's the one who keeps, not about me. I mean, everyone motivated in all our other companies as well, right? So uh, whenever I have my own frustration, that goes on Sanjay, right? So and he's the one who helps us or help me, in lot of things, right? That uh, forget about this, it happens, and now we are doing a lot of things together. And trust me, whatever we have decided in the beginning, if we want to do this, we want to do this, we will be raising this, and actually it has happened, right? So currently also, as we speak, we have raised around in growth sense, and I'm sure PR will happen in some time. But lot of things are happening in and around. But yes, that was once it was there, yes, where I felt. And it goes without saying, Sanjay is the second. First frustration always goes on the wife, right? So she's the most victim, in all my frustrations.
Okay.
Jimmy, so when you want to leave the job, what was Kinjal's reaction?
So I see. The thing was, earlier also when I was with Yes Bank, and as I said, that was the time when a lot of people forget about Jimish, but a lot of people also moved out of Yes Bank, right? And a lot of people started thinking of changing the job, right? So yes, I was also one of them, but I was sitting in Bangalore. When you are in the Bangalore, you are not in your hometown. You are staying on the rent. Have your two kids who are going to school. You have a lot of responsibility, a lot of families and all. So it was, uh, you know, not a easy decision for us, because this is not the first time, I have decided and, I've jumped in, right? This was maybe a third or fourth time we have discussed, me and, Kinjal, and then we started, on this, right? So her reaction was, whatever you do, I'm, with you, right? Although, again, trust me, it's not a filmy dialogue, but, she is a big supporter, along with me. And secondly, the family, right? My father. So even today also, if I have some, any loss or anything, or any thing. So when Nidhi asked the question, I can just correlate. When I softly, thought that I should go back to corporate. He was the one that, yeah, forget about thing. I am there with you, right? So this pays off everything, for individual, right? When your father says that I am with you at the age of 40, when we started, right? So Kinjals was very supportive, and along with her, the family was supportive. So that's take off, your 50% pain of moving into the different and the challenging world.
You have like answered it briefly, but I want it little bit light on that. You created so many entities and complex platforms in such a short time. Was that planned or it just happened?
So I'll tell you, yes, partly it was a plan, and partly you'll have to go with the flow, right? So we started growth sense, with the clear vision that we'll be helping the startup with this, right? But there are people who don't actually understand what, actually you add the value in their business, right? So but fund, yes, the structure, was little complex. And Sanjay, I started, it was clear that we'll have a two fund. But now we run five funds, right? Because a lot of interest has come from a lot of external people. People have started realizing the stuff. So partially, and again, I'll tell you Growth 91, how it clicked in our mind, right? So when we started doing this, growth science, and we were a typical angel investment platform, and Growth 91 was, so one boy who was studying in 11th, he came to us with the same, thing that, why don't you invest, in our, startup, with such idea. And Sanjay and I said that, what if we create something, where we can start offering, small investment, small amount of investment in the startup, right? Which was, we were covering, minimum 1 lakh to, any amount. But, if someone wanted to invest small amount, it was not the platform available with us. And that's how we started brainstorming, and Growth 91, came in, focus, right? And Growth 91, when we started, yes, we were also typical small investment platform, and now we also emerged as a, maybe a kind of capable, ticket, kind of, platform, right? And you are witness of that. We are having a very less number of investors who are investing in small, tickets. But again, I'm saying, while, we are talking a lot of things on the Growth 91 growth sense, this is just a beginning. A lot of things, yet to be done, in overall growth sense as a group, and right, and we are aligned, and secondly, when you have a strong team with you who believes, and aligns with you and your, work, I think a lot of things will, fall in place accordingly. But just to give a summarized answer, lot of things has gone as per the plan, and lot of things has come in way, and we have accepted and implemented.
Would you like to share any challenges you faced on this journey, and how did you manage those challenges?
I think maybe in an earlier question I did, elaborate on it. So challenges are part of business, right? And otherwise it's not a business, right? Otherwise you are getting your salary, you are going for, dinner. After that you are going, your EMIs are debited. That's part and parcel of the comfortable, your job. So challenges are there, and it's still there, right? Challenges, and I am telling you, even if, we talk again, after a 1 or 2 year, challenges will be there, and that's the way business happens, and that's the way people become, big in terms of, when they are doing the business. And so lot of challenges, I would say, Neha, it has come starting from the technology to structure to managing the team to, reach. Because take an example, when you are a corporate leader, when you go, you have a calendar, how many holidays are in there, right? But when you start your own, you need to design the calendar, holiday calendar for you and your team, right? These are, the holidays, from that we have started. So I would say challenge, more than challenge, it was all, learning for us, and we have implemented in it.
So, I want, like, if anyone else want to speak and want to ask something, they are free to do it.
Yeah, Neha, I just wanted one question. This is not to Jimish, because Jimish is answering for a long time. This is more for Sanjay. Sanjay, just wanted to check, because I know Jimish, it's almost a decade plus, as a friend, as a colleague, and as Vivian family friend. So his son, my daughter, all in same school. We were in Bangalore. How did you convince this guy who's a hardcore salaried guy? And I know him because I used to sit beside him in his cabin, and whenever I go back to him, well, we just discuss during the tea or lunch break, and he tells, "Yeah, boss, salary to chahiye." And typical Gujjo, because at the end of the day, if something needs to come down, because I remember his investment, and he keeps telling me something keeps trickling in his account, like the salary or some investment. And from there, when I came to know, is obviously we had Yes Bank's whatever was going through, and he just mentioned in the call. How could you convince him for the entrepreneurship? Means obviously we knew that he's got the skill sets, but convincing him was the toughest. Sanjay, and this I would love you to answer it, because we as colleagues, a lot of people in this call are colleagues, ex-colleagues. We know Jimish too well. So Sanjay, if you could just give a break to Jimish, because he speaks a lot, and I want him to have a break. And Sanjay, it's over to you. Thanks.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Ramesh. So, just before answering directly to this question, I would just like to briefly say, like, see, I mean, I have been entrepreneur since my childhood, and I am doing corporate entrepreneurship as I like, and created a lot of different things till now. But I am a firm believer of this manifestation of thoughts, and I have experienced for a major things also, and I experience almost every day. So I mean, some of the things, I mean, I have even watched 2020 final match, IPL final match, without having a ticket in my hand, because I wanted to sit there and I wanted to watch, and I was in the stadium. So these kind of manifestations are also possible, and that I have experienced throughout my life. And once you, like, I mean, really believe and really follow something, you start attracting people what you like, and people what exactly you want. The same frequency attracts. So I mean, in last 30-40 years, I don't remember meeting anybody or any wrong person in my life. So I mean, everything connected the way I want. So I visualize I want this, by today evening I'll get that. So someday, naturally, I mean, I wanted to build a great business. So I am sure some good people will definitely come and connect, and our team will build. And that's how Jimish connected with me. I mean, otherwise, I believe in keep giving, sharing, and no threads attached. I mean, I try to help as many people as possible. So that was the starting point. But
How much time did you take to
no,
study
that's right.
Jimish?
So yeah. So basically, the challenge is, like, I mean, when you associate with somebody, you have to understand what are the challenges, what the mindset person goes through, and you have to give a comfort. What's the
Sure.
comfort? So, like, I mean, ultimately, we have to create the vision, create and present it, give it a plan, and ensure that, yes, I mean, there is no negative thing that can happen here. If you can present it well and convince, that works well. And there are certain tricks of handling, like, I mean, the mindset of getting salary and all these things. These are all workable things. So I mean, that anyway I was doing since, like, I mean, large, I mean, maybe more than 2 decades now, helping or mentoring large business owners and taking this decision. So that was easy for me. But in principle, in a conversation, when you are true and genuine, it becomes easy to convince and talk through. So initial stages, I mean, as Jimish mentioned, like, I mean, naturally on day one, we did not make a great business, right? I mean, although, I mean, we started with a small amount, and now our valuation of the company is more than 187 crore. So that is the journey we have seen in 3 years. But early stages, there were, I mean, on day we may see that, okay, the things are not working out as we want. So, I mean, that discussions, if we take it very well, so that gives a comfort. And Jimish was otherwise also very passionate, and he's passionate to handle things and all. So that works very well. And another comfort what I was able to give is, like, I mean, I know I am good in anything and everything except sales. And Jimish is excellent networking and salesperson. So that probably was a great combination, and that gave a comfort to both of us. And we started. And just, like, I mean, just thought of sharing a fact, like, I mean, after we started the business, and then we started another 1 or 2 companies, and then finally, first time in person we met after, I think, 7 or 8 months. Our first meeting was after 7 months or 8 months after we started the business.
So because Ramesh, I mean, although you wanted to pull my legs, but I'm sorry, Sanjay answered it very well. But this was so I mean, we were together in Bangalore, during Corona, and after that also a lot of restriction, and I'm sitting in Ahmedabad is sitting in Maharashtra, Kola. So we started and everything was digitally. So we took it that way, that let it go with the flow it's going, and then one day there was a discussion happen and we said let's meet now. I mean, it's been high time, and let's meet now. So I think after 7-8 months of started, we met in person. I think that was at Bombay. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Pune,
sir.
Pune.
Pune, yeah, Pune, sorry.
No, very good, yeah, Sanjay. Means, hats off to you getting him convinced across and getting him growth. And right now, it's in the right trajectory and going upward. We all investors are looking at for your how you people are taking it to the next level, and all the very best. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Thank you.
Jimish, any advice you want to give to the young people like 21, 22-year-old about the investment because they are just had a paycheck and now they are like doing expenses or something. So any advice for the investment and all?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, we had a one session with Asit, and Asit had did cover it well. I would consider myself, I'm not the right person for this advice, but I can only tell, and which, I'm sure if Shivam is still there on the call, he would have heard this from me, number of times. In the salaried job, what happens is you are sitting in one location and you're doing it, right? In the one location, you are, gradually, getting your appraisal and you are becoming a thick in that, thing. But and this made me I would say Asit and Ajay made me realize that how important is to move within India in your respect other locations and handle the market, because you're sitting, suppose I'm sitting in Ahmedabad, I know Ahmedabad corporate, I know the culture and all, but if I moved to Bangalore, now for me it's blessing in disguise, because Bangalore has only made me entrepreneur, right? Bangalore has only made me realize what is startup all about, startup investment all about. So I think moving or accepting the relocation within your job, that's the right thing you should accept and move on. uh, Advice on the investment, I mean, till the time you are 40, 45, please start accepting little bit high risk kind of investment, because otherwise fixed deposits and are there which are single digit, lower single digit, and you can gain amount. But I think so for us, we are very clear. Even if someone comes to us for the investment, we even ask them that, are you investing in the mutual fund also? If not, please start mutual fund and then come to us, right? So there are list of diversified assets in India nowadays, and thanks to fintech, a lot of other asset classes are also there, right? So people are investing and people will keep on investing. But idea is that early stage you start investing and start taking some exposure, not in crypto and NFT, but you have a multiple other asset class where you can start investing.
Sanjay, any additions you want to like, any like savings and investment you want to give, any like line or something to the 21, 22-year-old who has just starting earning?
Yeah, you are asking me?
Yeah, yeah.
No, no. So
You want
Jimish already gave the advice very well. So basically, as long as you are working and you know that your salary will come next month, and even if the job is not there, you are confident that some other job will come. So your bread and butter is in principle taken care.
correct.
So apart from health insurance and whatever term life insurance you take, put everything in high risk assets till the time you are working, because that's what will create real wealth if you start taking exposure early. Because even if you lose everything, I mean, you still have money because you can earn. That's what my philosophy for very, very young people. I mean, don't start saving for retirement. That's my in principle thought. I mean, some people may or may not agree, but if you start saving for retirement from day one, I mean, your retirement will definitely will be good, but overall life will you will spend in just making good retirement. So invest
Nice.
and spend.
Okay. What advice would you like to give to someone who is in dilemma to start something on their own? Any of you can answer.
I think
So
Jimish can take this. Yeah.
putting myself in that their shoes, I think I can tell you entrepreneur is the best journey. Somewhere you'll have to take a step. I have taken a step after 20 years of my experience. If now I'm thinking, if I would have started maybe another 10 years earlier, I would have a different stage, right? Because the kind of work what we are doing it, or what we would have done, I think it would have taken us to the next step. But I think in India nowadays entrepreneurship is the things, right? Everyone is moving towards it, and when government itself is promoting and helping big time, no second thought on it. If you have something in mind, so a lot of startup founders we meet, right? Although their valuation ask and things are different, but many times we realize that they have an excellent idea, but they were very conservative in approaching the people and saying the sharing their idea, right? So unless you share your idea or talk to right people, I think you will not be able to do it. So if you have something in your mind and you want to do it, and let's try and do it. I mean, you never know when it will become a billion-dollar idea, right? So entrepreneurship is the best thing, if you have a anyways, you have a plan, you can do it. And we in growth sense, we are actually doing the same thing. Anyone who wants to do their own, we are giving growth sense as a brand umbrella, and people are doing it with us, right? We have a now 5 6 companies under growth sense, where everyone is doing the same entrepreneurship journey.
Anyone has any other questions? You can unmute or put it in the chat box.
No, I think Himanshu has put the same question I asked, and they said personally before here, they are a great team in growth sense. Oh, thanks, Himanshu. So Himanshu is the one who's the founder of Growth Associates, which is our compliance venture, right? So any one wants to even establish a company, to get a startup certificate, to due diligence, to pre-post fundraise, to maintaining their annual filing, everything is being done by Himanshu and team. Thanks, Himanshu.
I request everyone, like, can you please switch on the video so we can take one more selfie? It will just take 10 seconds, please.
Yeah, you can count 10 to 0 and then take a selfie so that everybody smiles at 0.
Okay. Mohit, Agam, Mehul, Mitul, Pratik, is it possible for you to switch on the video? Okay. I'll count to five. Five, four, three, two, one. Let's see if it comes out good.
Done, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, yeah. Thanks. Thanks for allowing me to share my insights, and thanks everyone for joining. Ramesh, Shivam, Asit, Sushant, everyone, Himanshu. Thanks for sharing your feedback on me, or rather thanks for giving lot of sharing lot of things about our journey together. And Neha, Nidhi, believe me, I am not following up in the morning and late evening, so don't worry. So Shivam was just, making
You not you can. We are not scared. I am at least not scared. It's okay.
cool. Yeah. Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you all for joining the session.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks,
Thank you.
thanks.